is no escape. Ending storms danger ever. Irma, the strongest hurricane on
Hurricane IRMA is putting the Orlando area on
Hey dudes, welcome back to my channel. I am home from Disney. I figured we would just sit down. I'm literally like post-workout, a little bit of a hot mess, sweaty express, but I couldn't figure out which video to come home and talk about first. Some of you may have noticed I did not post a video last week, and that was kind of why I feel like I needed to start with this video. It needed an explanation, and it was basically because we were stuck in like hurricane watch situation, and my anxiety levels were like sky high, and I wanted to kind of take you guys through what happened. I think that it's kind of unique that I actually experienced the, I think, most unique experience that you could ever have at Disney World, which is a hurricane and getting out right before the hurricane hits. So the week was super awesome, but also super stressful, and it just also so happened to be my 30th birthday. So I figured we would sit down, have a little coffee talk, and just chat as though we were like meeting up for coffee and I was telling you about exactly what happened. So this isn't supposed to be like some clickbait, dramatic, crazy news anchor video. I saw a lot of vloggers at Disney World like trying to report the news, and it was honestly super dramatic, and that was probably the most annoying part, was just how dramatized it was. But all the while it was still serious, and I want you guys to know that. Like coming home back to Canada, I think, where we're a little bit removed from stuff sometimes, especially things like hurricanes, people think that it's all just an illusion and it's not really real, and being there, it was hella scary. So I want to take you guys through like a little timeline of exactly what happened. So we were on a 10-day trip. We decided to go to Disney World for 10 days this year, and it was my 30th birthday. So we landed on August 31st. And if you guys were following any of the news at all, what I think happened is that it started to become a thing on September 1st, but I didn't hear about it until September 4th, which was the day after my 30th birthday. So we were set to leave 10 days, full 10 days, at 4:02 p.m. on September 9th. That's when I had originally booked our flights, and that's what actually remained. So we played out the whole week, but as the week got closer and closer, the hurricane kept approaching, and it went from category 4 to category 5. It kind of all became very real and very stressful. And the most stressful part of it, honestly, was that we just didn't know if we were going to be able to fly home. Because on, I think it was September 4th or 5th, the Orlando airport decided that they were going to shut down at 5 p.m. on the Saturday, the 9th, September 9th, when we were supposed to fly out, and our flight was supposed to leave at 4:02 p.m. So if anything was to go wrong, or if for whatever reason the weather just got worse earlier, we would be staying there. Maybe without a place to stay, we didn't know. So the first thing we did was secure a room just in case we needed it. And we tried to just have as much fun as possible and stay away from the news, but honestly, it was so hard to escape it. So the first day that we really heard about it and how serious it was when we were sitting at 50's Primetime Cafe. Like I said, it was the day after my birthday, and my birthday, I was totally in bliss mode. Like I had no idea what was going on. I turned 30. You guys might have seen the big surprise video. It was very emotional. I posted it on my Facebook. I will post it on my Facebook fan page so you guys can see it. I'll put the link down below. It was a lot. There was a lot of tears. I was surprised at the Grand Floridian with like, it was something that was on my dream board forever. Anyways, you guys can go check it out. It was very dramatic and very emotional. Anyway, so that day was super blissful. The day after, though, we went for lunch at 50's Primetime Cafe, which I love, and that was on September 4th, day after my birthday. And I just remember the moment that I looked at Andre, my husband, and our two best friends were sitting there, and I just made a face, and they all went, "What?" And I said, "You didn't hear that?" And the table next to us, the husband was like reading the news to his wife, and he was just reading the whole thing out loud, and I just remember hearing it thinking, oh my God, like that's us, like we're here. And it just became super real. And I think that in that time it it didn't feel like it would actually happen. Like we kind of all brushed off and we're like, there's no way it'll make it to us. It's gonna probably hit like the most southern tip of Florida maybe, and then everybody kind of thinks that when it hits land, nothing will happen. But as the week went on, it started to get more and more and more real and more serious. And the announcement came out that they were gonna shut down Disney World on the 10th and the 11th, which was the days after that we were supposed to fly out. So if we were stuck there, that's what was awaiting us, was like we were stuck in it. So tensions were definitely high. We tried to change our flight, but we kind of got, no, I don't want to say the runaround because they honestly did a great job. Like Delta is who we flew out with, and they just said, you know, we're the guy that Andre actually called, said, I'm in Orlando and my family's in Tampa Bay, and like, you're set to fly out on Saturday, you should be fine. Listen, if you were flying out on the Sunday, I'd be super worried because the airport's supposed to close on the Saturday, but you should be fine. So they never actually agreed to change our flights, and there was no way to. And honestly, I didn't want to either. Like I wanted to enjoy the whole vacation, although it was a little bit stressful. But I have to say, and I just have to get this off my chest, and I don't know if you guys have friends like this, and if you do, like, and if you have an opinion about this, please comment below and let me know if I'm the only one or not the only one. But you know, you have those friends that are like either super concerned when stuff like this happens, and you get text messages or phone calls or Facebook messages or Snapchats from them, and they're like, are you okay? And you can sense like the genuine concern. They don't really want to worry you, but they just want to make sure that you're okay and that you're going to be okay. And then you have the other type of person that's like,
you sad?
No.
Good. Good. Okay.
and like it drives me crazy because I'm like, I'm just trying to enjoy myself, and trust me, I have my fair share of like news and we're hearing about it everywhere. And as the trip went on, every bar that we would walk into in the hotel, so Andre and I would usually just kind of go chill at the end of the day, like around 3-4 p.m. And by the end of it, all the bars started to have on the news and they were playing it every day, and people in the bar wanted to hear about it. So it was like you couldn't escape it. It was on every channel, every person everywhere was talking about it. So that part just kind of added to it. And I don't want to say that I have anxiety, but if I ever didn't, I did that week because it was a lot. That's why I didn't post a video last week. I just wanted to enjoy as much as I could. It was the wine and food show at Epcot, which was really fun. It was awesome. And I have to say too that the staff at Disney was phenomenal. Like, we requested to get the Magical Express, so that's like the bus transportation that takes you back to the airport. And we were just gonna get an Uber if they couldn't do it, but they offered to take us there early just to make sure that we had our flight, and that if there was an earlier flight that we could get on. And the coolest thing, and I honestly have to give such props to Delta. Like, I'm sure that they take so much flack every single day, but you rarely do hear the good. And they sent, I think it was 3 747s. So on the 8th, they sent a 747, and on the 9th, they sent 2 747s. Like, what? That's amazing. Now, sadly, I did not get to be on one of those 747s. Our flight actually just remained as it was. I think it was a 737. Still wonderful. We had first class seats. Thank you, Delta. It was phenomenal. And the staff was fantastic. Our stewardess even found me on Twitter and remembered me from my drink order. But it was good. It was really, really good. When we got to the airport, because we did end up getting on that Magical Express early, and that was all good. And I actually filmed like a quick little clip right before we were leaving and right when we got on the bus.
You're still happy. No, all is good. This is not like a dramatic vlog. I just wanted to, I feel like this needed an update because I'm getting a lot of concerns and worries and questions, which is great. But at the same time, like, I appreciate it, but at the same time, like, we're just enjoying ourselves. We're doing our thing. There's literally, I don't even know if you guys can see outside right now. There's barely any wind. And this is, so you can see the wind. Looks like nothing. We're just on the bus right now to go to the airport, which is exciting. So we're gonna get our seat maybe on a 747, which could be cool. But yeah, we're just trying to enjoy ourselves, trying not to get all hyped up and dramatic. Disney's doing a really, really great job of taking care of everybody. The staff is fantastic. I think a lot of people actually came here to like get away from the chaos. So they're boarding everything up today. They're taking care of everybody in the parks. They're wrapping everything with saran wrap. It's good. So this morning we got to ride Test Track and Soarin'. So we're happy, we're good. We just want to get home to our little guy, Carl. Good. Really? You're in it.
I'm in it?
Yeah, look.
There's a TV show on. The reaction people have after drinking the beverage.
So yeah, update. All is good.
So when we got to the airport, Delta again was phenomenal. The guy that checked us in was phenomenal, and he was telling me about this, like these friends too that are like checking on you that you haven't heard from in like 5 years.
Good, are you sad?
No.
Oh.
And they're asking him if he needs to like board up his house and stuff. So I just laughed because I was like, I'm kind of dealing with the same thing. Like people are like, is your vacation ruined? Are you sad? And you just kind of like, go away. So the airport though was oddly calm despite what the news was saying. Like the news and Twitter, I stayed on Twitter the whole week, and that was one thing. Like every morning I would wake up, I would check Twitter. I've never checked so many updates, status updates of hurricanes in my life, and just like tracking it and where it was going to be and everything. And they were saying that the Orlando airport was like in frantics, and that they were like boarding things up, and that they were like saran wrapping everything. They weren't. Maybe in some parts of the airport, but it was super calm, super well handled. There was one crazy freak out session that happened right before we boarded our plane. That was a little bit dramatic, and you know, stuff like that doesn't always help whenever wives are like screaming at their husbands. But it happens, and you can't really help it. So one thing also that happened was the pilot came out of the plane, and right before we were to board, and he just said, he came on the intercom and he said, you guys, the storm is approaching. You could see the storm coming. That was scary. It started to rain, and that was at like 3:30, and our flight's leaving at 4:02, and the airport closes at 5. So the pilot comes in and he says, we need to leave. So your job is to get on this plane. Do not mess with your bags. Put them on your seat. Fix it when we take off. Because if we don't take off now, we're not taking off. That was friggin' stressful. So I had a stiff drink. It was great. I don't know what he made, but I told Andre, I was like, I think he roofied me or something. I watched Devil Wears Prada. I had a cocktail. Fantastic flight. Fantastic flight. And Disney honestly did a great job. So the last day that we left, we went to Epcot that morning. I can't say that I really had like the time of my life because it was eerie. It was so eerie. It was like quiet. They were saran wrapping all of the lights, I guess, to make sure that the glass stayed intact. They were removing the signs from the wine and food show booths. Those were the things that I was concerned about, because those wine and food show booths are built to come down. So I was kind of thinking about those and how structurally safe they were, but they were boarding everything up. They were just preparing for everything, but there was barely anybody in the park. So Andre and I went on Soarin', we had breakfast, and then we went on Test Track, and we just left because I just wanted to get to the airport and, you know, get the flight. I figured once I had the flight ticket and that they would say like, yes, you're leaving, that I would feel better, and I did. So that was kind of the summation of the whole trip, and I feel like now I can rightfully get into like all of the good stuff about Disney and like all of the amazing things that we experienced this past week. But it was an amazing trip, but I just didn't feel right like jumping right into it, pretending like nothing happened. Like it was a lot. We got out at the skin of our teeth. Like I said, the airport closed at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We flew out at 4:02. Delta, you guys are heroes. I think that it's really great that they sent 3 747s when they didn't have to get everybody that they could out of Orlando. Pretty freaking awesome. By the way, you guys, this shirt is from Uniqlo in Disney Springs, which was like outstanding. I loved going to Disney Springs this year. I'm gonna bring at you guys like a ton of tips, everything that we experienced. The good stuff, the dramatic part is done. I will put up that video from my birthday on my fan page so you guys can go see it. I will link it down below. But what I would love to know from you guys is not only like about the crazy friends and all that, I'm just kidding, but more so like what do you guys want to know about Disney World? Because I have all of the opinions in the world, like the best drinks, the best things to do for adults, the best restaurants to go to, cool things that you can do to like avoid lines, Disney World hacks. I think my DisNeyLand Hacks was like my most viewed video ever. If you guys have not seen that, I can link that down below as well. But let me know, you know, I always want to be aware of what you guys want to hear about, especially when it comes to Disney stuff. So I am your go-to girl for that, and I'm excited. I have like so much footage from the rides, the wine food show, all of the food, all of the drinks, all of the fun, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So you let me know, and I will prioritize it based off of what you guys want to see. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. If for anything else, just the laughs and the fact that, like a thumbs up, the fact that we got out before the freaking airport closed. Hopefully that was everything that you guys wanted to hear. I got a lot of questions from you guys, and those of you that were thoroughly concerned, I truly appreciate the love. I do. There is just those odd questions every once in a while that you're like, what? But other than that, amazing. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye, dudes.
We both